right now there is an AI and it's going to change your life forever. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to type right me 10 video ideas that get 1 million views in the baking niche.
Ed from Film Booth introduced me to AI. We are going to start using AI in our writing practice. Chat.openai.com, I'll put the link below for you, is not an affiliate. This is purely because I think this is an amazing tool and I'm so excited to share it with you. When you come in, you'll have to prove you're not a robot, which I find ironic considering that the AI is a robot. You can add all your chats and you can pop in your chat right here. Hey AI, what can you do for authors trying to write their first novel? How can you support them, seeing them through from idea, feedback, editing, and publishing?
There are many things that I can do to help an author write their first novel. Here are a few ideas. Brainstorming. I can help authors brainstorm ideas for their novel, including character development, plot points, and themes. Outlining. I can help authors create an outline for their novel, which can make the writing process much easier and more organized. Writing assistance. I can provide feedback on an author's writing, including suggestions for improving clarity, structure, and flow. Editing. I can assist with editing and proofreading an author's work to help ensure that it is error-free and ready for publication. Research. I can help authors with research for their novel, including finding sources of information and verifying facts. Publishing. I can provide information on the various publishing options available to authors, including traditional publishing, self-publishing, and ebook publishing.
This is so great, AI. What are the drawbacks?
As an AI, I do not have the same limitations as a human. I can work with an author for as long as they need, and there is no limit to the word count of a project that I can assist with. One potential drawback of working with an AI is that I may not be able to provide the same level of personalized attention and emotional support as a human writing coach or mentor. However, I can still offer a wealth of knowledge and practical writing advice to help authors improve their skills and achieve their writing goals. Another potential drawback is that, as an AI trained on a fixed dataset, there may be certain topics or areas of expertise that are outside of my knowledge base. However, I can still point authors in the direction of other resources or experts who may be able to help with more specialized or technical questions.
I asked y'all what you needed most out of your writing. 75% of you told me you needed feedback. Well, AI is great for feedback. It's fantastic. And so one of my Patreoners submitted a piece for us to get feedback, and I just said I was going to give feedback, but I'm being really cheeky, and I'm doing it in this video where the AI is going to give the feedback. Let's see how that works out. The AI provides some feedback to Irene's story that she's provided through Patreon account. So what Irene submitted was a little over 7,000 words. So I've decided that we should probably break that down. So I'm going to give the AI 1,500 words and see how the AI does with that.
Overall, the writing is clear and easy to follow. The descriptions of the setting and the characters are vivid and help to create a sense of place and atmosphere. The dialogue also feels natural and helps to reveal the personalities of the characters. Finally, it might be helpful to consider the pacing of the story. The opening scene with Lord Calver killing his manservant is certainly dramatic, but the following descriptions and dialogue slow the pace somewhat. Overall, this is a strong start to the story, and I look forward to reading more.
Now I'm going to ask the AI to summarize the feedback of all the different pieces for me, and then I'll send that to Irene. I have not told Irene that this feedback is being provided by an AI. I'm going to send her the AI's feedback and see how she reacts.
So Joe asked me to do a quick video reacting to the feedback provided on my story earlier today. I wasn't told initially that this was an AI providing feedback on the story. I thought it was Jo had sat down to write it herself. The structure actually made a lot of sense. Jo has a very methodical, organised mind and can provide very clear feedback that is particularly well written. And this feedback had all those elements. It was broken down into an overall comment, taking a look at those first few words of the story, the mid-build, the back end of the mid-build, and then the ending before closing with a sort of, few nice words around the end. And so structurally, nothing about that triggered any second guessing or questions on my part about the origin of the feedback. Those were things that I could expect a human reviewer to give me as part of the feedback easily. The thing that started to make me realise that this wasn't my friend Jo is that the feedback was strong, however it was repetitive. In multiple sections I got the same feedback, phrased or rephrased in subtly different ways. Now, I would say that a human person writing this sort of feedback would say, just point blank, as above, I said this before, the same notes apply, right? Like they wouldn't reiterate the same idea in full within the next section of the feedback. Thing that I pinged Jo on and I said, hey, did you read my story or did you just skim it? The feedback suggested that there were threads that were started at the end of the story and left unresolved at the end. Now, I'm not going to dispute that to a degree they are unresolved, and a large part of that is deliberate, particularly for one of the core threads. However, they certainly weren't introduced at that point. They were introduced much earlier in the story. Overall, it was really great feedback. I would have liked more detail from the machine about some of the specific problems it called out. It suggested at one point that I had a verb tense issue, and so there were areas where the verb tense shifted to present tense, causing some confusion or disorientation. I would really have liked specific examples of that. And I wonder if you could ask the AI to provide those specific examples. So there you go, Jo. Is it possible to ask the AI to provide specific examples?
The answer is yes to Irene's question. Yes, you can ask the AI to go into more detail, to be specific, to outline it as detailed and specifically as you want. Just be careful not to overload the AI. And if you do, little hack, go out, come back, usually fixes the problem.
Really great feedback. Broadly provided a lot of good things to consider. I would probably chew on for a while and maybe action or maybe not. However, I get the sense that, on a first draft or a rougher draft of the story, it actually would be really helpful to throw it into this AI and just see what it starts to say. I think it would let you know whether your writing is crisp, whether it's clean, and I think it would also help with some of those plot elements that sometimes get a little bit lost in the mix.
This is one of the most mind-blowing things I have ever seen, and it's without doubt one of the worst things that's going to happen to YouTubers. Wait, what?
Irene was concerned, and validly so, that by putting her writing into the AI chat, it would become public domain. This is not the case. I checked with the AI chat before I did this. It's all subject to the privacy terms of service, so check those out if you're concerned at all. It'd be really, really tempting just to get the AI to do all the work for you, wouldn't it? It'd just go and write my novel for me. But then it's not your novel, then it is the AI's novel, and ultimately, it could be argued, the intellectual property of the creators of the AI. Be very, very careful when you're using the AI, that you're using it responsibly, ethically, and that you aren't robbing yourselves of the joy of writing. It is a joy. Or of reading other people's work. I'm not always going to provide feedback this way, but it was very cool to see how it's done, and I will be definitely using it to get feedback for myself when I need it instantly, as opposed to going begging people to read my work for me. We might be moving into a world where AI is a real thing, and you might be feeling like this is a little too matrixy for me. Or you might be like, hey y'all, it's like Data from Star Trek, that's awesome. But the thing is, you are not a robot, you do have a choice. So if you want to know what I do when I don't feel like outlining my next story, check out this video here. Or if you want to know why I gave up on beta readers, check out this video here. Whichever one you choose, it's your choice because you're still human, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, yeah. Cool, so those videos aren't up yet because I didn't want to hold off on this video for you guys. They're coming, they're in the pipeline. Hit that subscribe so you don't miss them. In the meantime, check out this playlist where I write like your favorite authors.